right now on 18 Eyewitness News.
I'm tracking the threat of some thunderstorms for your Tuesday.
How much longer is the pain at the pump going to continue? How the race in America is being compared in the George Zimmerman case. And the city of Detroit is defending their decision to file for bankruptcy. 18 Eyewitness News starts right now.
18 Eyewitness News starts now.
The pain at the pump isn't going away anytime soon. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins, and our top story here on 18 Eyewitness News, the average price for a gallon of gas is $3.67 nationwide, which is up 18 cents a gallon since the beginning of the month. Now, the cause is a mix of problems in the Middle East and due to an increase in demand for summertime driving. All of this comes about as America is producing a record amount of domestic oil, but a shortage of pipeline means it's too expensive to move that oil to consumers here in the U.S. So what are we doing? It's going overseas. Fall registration at Mineral Area College is currently underway. Registration will continue through August 18th and classes begin August 19th. MAC Registrar Pam Reeder tells 18 Eyewitness News there are steps to take to get registered.
First-time students, when they come into orientation, they will meet with an advisor, and the advisor will register students. If they're continuing students or returning students, as long as they're activated on our system, they may need to make a phone call if they haven't been here for a couple years, but as long as they're activated, they can enroll online.
For more information, visit our website, kdkz18.com. 25-year-old Andrew Fortner of rural Bismarck will have a chance to get out of prison and start a new term of probation if he completes a 120-day prison shock incarceration without any violations. Circuit Court Judge Sandy Martinez sentenced Fortner to 10 years in prison for violating the probation he received for second-degree assault. However, Martinez will consider placing him on a new term of probation after he completes a 120-day shock incarceration program. He admitted to violating his probation by failing to complete the Pathways to Change program. He also has a misdemeanor stealing charge pending from an incident that allegedly occurred back in January. Fortner was placed on probation in May of 2009. A 3-year-old boy is expected to make a full recovery after being pulled from a St. Louis County swimming pool. 2 teenage lifeguards helped save the child Saturday afternoon at the Chesterfield Municipal Pool. The boy was taken to a hospital and is now recovering. The child's name has not been released. Monsoon rains brought treacherous flooding to parts of Arizona on Sunday. The heavy rains left part of Highway 60 in the Phoenix area under water. Cars became stuck and were almost covered to their roofs in water as roads turned into rivers. Several motorists who were trapped in their vehicles had to be rescued when they tried to drive through those floodwaters. In Tucson, 3 children, ages 8, 10, and 12, were rescued after being caught in a flash flood while playing in a wash that wasn't running. Authorities found them stuck on a sandbar. Homeowners were flooded out as well. Resident Flavia Easley estimated that she had 5 feet of water in her basement.
To see a wall of water coming toward you, there's nothing you can do. I have 2 8-foot glass doors, and the water just started rising. Water started coming in around the sides, and 2 minutes after that, the doors burst open, and a wall of water came through my basement.
The rain is expected to end in just a few days. Speaking of rain, Dustin Kopp, our chief meteorologist, is here. Dustin, what's our forecast look like?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures across the area, look at that, all 89 degrees. It's warm out there, near 90 right now. We've got in the low 90s today, so it's been a warm one. Temperature about 87 degrees at 7 p.m. with the possibility of a shower or thunderstorm. We're going to continue to see that overnight tonight with a slim chance of a thunderstorm here or there. 81 degrees at 9 p.m. and 77 by midnight. Will we see any thunderstorms on your Tuesday? I'm tracking the chance. We'll get you the latest weather information that you need coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, how the race in America is being compared in the George Zimmerman case. That story coming up on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
More than a week after neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman was acquitted in the death of Trayvon Martin, famed neurosurgeon Dr. Benjamin Carson is weighing in on the debate about race in America. In his weekend analysis on Fox News, Carson encouraged the country to tone down the rhetoric and to realize we are not each other's enemies.
So often we take any kind of situation that occurs today in America and we get on the different sides of it and we hurl hand grenades at each other rather than engaging in intelligent discussion. This is what we need to do. Do we have a perfect system? Absolutely not. Does everybody think about things the right way? Absolutely not. But we're never going to get there if we continue to make ourselves into enemies.
Zimmerman is the man accused of killing an unarmed black teenager in self-defense. Craft store giant Hobby Lobby has won another victory against Obamacare's birth control mandate. A federal judge granted the retailer a temporary exemption Friday. Obamacare requires employers to provide the morning after pill and birth control free of charge to their employees or pay a fine. The Christian family that owns Hobby Lobby argues that it violates their conscience. CEO Steve Green says he never thought he'd have to sue the federal government to run his business according to his Christian faith.
We love this country and the freedoms it stands for, and would never have imagined that we'd be in a position where we would be required to do something that would violate our conscience.
There are now more than 60 separate lawsuits challenging the birth control mandate. The East Missouri Action Agency is continuing to offer free lunches this summer for children. Public Relations and Communications Specialist Shanna Ashton explains to 18 Eyewitness News what the purpose is behind the program.
It's an offshoot of the school lunch program is what it is, and it's meals for kids when they aren't in school. And we do them in different community areas. We do them in parks. We partner with different civic organizations that are having summer programs for kids, and we prepare the meals and serve them out to the kids.
Shanna tells us that they purchase the food for the program. She also says that they have to follow strict school guidelines.
We follow the school guidelines as far as, credibility of meals with your food pyramid of milk, your bread, your meat, your vegetable, and your fruit.
For more information, you can contact Shanna at 431-5191 or visit our website, kdkz18.com, for a list of summer food locations. Many Missouri counties are scrambling to make up the difference between the cost to run emergency 911 services and the amount of money coming in through landline surcharges. A measure filed in the state legislature this year would have allowed counties to ask voters for a cell phone surcharge to fund 911. The bill made it through the House, but the session ended before the Senate got to it. Missouri remains the only state in the U.S. where cell phone users don't have to pay a 911 surcharge. Voters twice have rejected a statewide fee on cell phones for 911 service. And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, how the race in America is being compared in the George Zimmerman case. That story coming up on 18 Eyewitness News.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
As I get ready to go into surgery, I remind myself what it's about. It's about God. It's about caring. It's about trust. It's about respect. It's about back pain. It's about neck pain. It's about questions. It's about answers. It's about people, not just patients. It's about you. It's about us. It is Heartland Spine. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Detroit city officials spent the weekend defending their decision to file for bankruptcy. Last week, Detroit became the largest U.S. city to take that step, but a state judge blocked the move. Officials say Detroit needs a second chance to restructure and get past a financial crisis that's been 60 years in the making. Charlene Israel has more.
When a city as large as Detroit fails, it doesn't happen overnight.
I mean, a lot of this debt, a lot of the practices that I put forward in my June 14th report that talked about deferrals, unfunded obligations, borrowings, addiction to debt, even a level of corruption from 2002 to 2008, which was significant, have created this problem.
Emergency manager Kevin Orr was hired back in March to fix Detroit's debt problem. He warned then that there was a 50-50 chance of a bankruptcy filing. Now that warning is a reality.
We don't have a choice. We've crossed the Rubicon on the level. We have 18 to 19 billion dollars in debt and no funding mechanism for it. So this is a question of necessity.
Public pensions are one of the city's major problems. Detroit has 18,000 retired public workers who are still owed pension and health benefits. But the funding for that program is under by about $3.5 billion. Governor Rick Snyder says enough is enough. He says retiree pensions have hampered state and city budgets. Now it's time for public workers to pay more of their health care costs. And it turns out Detroit is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cities in financial danger. A Pew survey shows that 61 major cities across the nation are in similar circumstances. The Detroit Free Press points out they share a $217 billion shortfall. That comes from unfunded pension and health care liabilities. It's not clear if any of them will take the same step as Detroit. But Detroit Mayor Dave Bing says he hopes their bankruptcy filing will be a new start.
Detroit is a very iconic city worldwide, and our people will fight through this, and we will come back.
The mayor doesn't expect much help in the way of bailout money from the federal government. Both Bing and Governor Snyder say Detroit created their money problems, and now it's up to them to find a way out.
I've gotten great support from this administration. I've got great support from a lot of the different departments within the administration. They've been helpful, but now that we've done our bankruptcy filing, I think we've got to take a step back and see what's next.
Charlene Israel reporting. The city faces a massive legal fight. Detroit owes about $18 billion to about 100,000 creditors, and not everyone will get paid. St. Louis police say a man is recovering after being shot by a police officer following a brief foot chase. The man was shot once in each leg Sunday afternoon in South St. Louis. Police say an officer patrolling the area saw two men he recognized from past encounters. One of the men ran and the officer chased him. The officer tried to use a stun gun on the suspect, but it didn't work. Police say the man eventually reached for his waist and the officer feared he had a gun. The officer fired several times, hitting the man twice. Missouri's Republican lawmakers may have to stick together if they want to override Democratic Governor Jay Nixon's veto of an income tax cut bill. A survey shows that 2 of the 3 Democrats who originally voted for the bill in May now oppose it. The 3rd Democrat says he is undecided on how to vote in the September veto session. That means 3 Republicans who originally voted no may have to switch to yes for an override to succeed. Republicans also need to pick up votes from 6 GOP members who were absent during the May vote. Most of the absent lawmakers say they will vote for the override, but at least 1 remains undecided, as do the 3 Republicans who originally voted no. Authorities say a gunman walked into a southern Missouri church service and fired 2 shots into the floor. Another round hit the ceiling Sunday morning when churchgoers tackled the man to the floor of the First Baptist Church in Norwood. One of the men who tackled the gunman suffered a minor shoulder injury during the struggle, and no one else was hurt.
Next in weather, have your latest storm tracker weather forecast. Will we see any thunderstorms on your Tuesday? Details when we come back.
More than 70% of the U.S. experience back or neck pain within our lifetime. For many, it goes away within 4 to 6 weeks, but some require more than just time. If you need help treating your back or neck pain, contact Dr. Frank Hayward at Heartland Spine Institute. Dr. Hayward is the area's expert in minimally invasive and laser spine surgery. Tiny incision, big results. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Right now we have a cloudy sky and 89 degrees, but look what it feels like. 94 out there with current dew point 70, 53% humidity and a west wind at 7 miles per hour. Throughout the area, we're seeing temperatures on the warm side, 89 degrees throughout southeast Missouri, and that's pretty much the entire southeast Missouri sector. We're seeing that temperature of 89 degrees. 90 right now in Columbia, 91 in Kansas City and Springfield, 90 right now in St. Louis. The weather headlines are showing that we do have thunderstorms continuing throughout the area. Temperatures hot one more day, and then we got a major cool down in store. All right, here's what our forecast looks like. We do have that colder air moving in. That's going to collide with a cold front. That's when we get those showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the area. Some could be heavy at times through southern portions of Missouri, and off to the east and north, we will possibly see some heavy thunderstorms. For tonight, the isolated thunderstorm chance is increasing overnight tonight. 69 to 73 for your overnight low. For tomorrow, we're still seeing those showers and thunderstorms likely, 89 to 93. And looking ahead the next several days, we are seeing temperatures cooling off a little bit. Wednesday, 81 with isolated thunderstorms, mostly sunny on Thursday, 82. 83 on Friday, mostly cloudy. Isolated thunderstorms once again on Saturday, 81 degrees, 81 and partly sunny on Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny and 81. Definitely spring-like feel on the way for southeast Missouri. Don't forget, you can get the latest weather information on our website, KDKZ18.com.
Kids are resilient. They'll bounce back, but is this really true when it comes to divorce? Parents will want to catch today's Focus on the Family with Dr. Bill Meyer.
I'm Stacy Johnson. You certainly wouldn't set off on a trip without knowing where you were going or how you were going to get there. And that's especially true if your destination is a happy retirement. Want to avoid retirement planning mistakes? We're just ahead on Money Talks News.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Armchair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Armchair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Divorce touches more homes than ever before these days, but the effect of that on kids is often minimized by those who say it's not that big of a deal, that kids just bounce back fine. Dr. Bill Meyer explores that idea in today's Focus on the Family.
We were called into the living room of the house, and Mom was on one side and Dad was over on the other, and my sister and I were on the floor, and they told us that they were going to get divorced and asked, so who would you like to live with?
That's the kind of memory that leaves a lifelong scar. It happened decades ago, but George still remembers it like it was yesterday.
I was just shocked. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Some experts say that kids are resilient, that they'll adjust, and they can. But long-term research shows that divorce continues to negatively impact kids many years after the fact.
It's a sense of loss and grief, and kids may not necessarily verbalize it, but they will demonstrate that in their behavior. Some may become more aggressive, others may withdraw.
In talking with adults that have come from divorced homes, I have yet to find one that was not deeply affected emotionally for many, many years.
Another common myth surrounding kids and divorce is that if the parents are always arguing, it's healthier for the kids if they just go ahead and split up.
Even when we had our struggles early in our marriage, divorce was not an option. We had to work it through, and even when I had my doubts, he said there's no choice. We have to figure something out.
So when conflict comes up, what a wonderful example to be is that people can sit down and work it out.
Every marriage will have highs and lows because romantic love, like all emotions, will ebb and flow over time. Commitment is the true source of stability in a marriage. Unfortunately, our culture often sends the message that if romantic feelings have disappeared, then so should you.
In some ways it gets to be glamorized in magazines and movies, but that it's okay. There's no real big problem. But they don't really begin to reflect the damage that gets done to a lot of kids and families.
The feeling of abandonment, rejection, the desperation, it left a hole inside of me.
Commitment is a choice a couple needs to make every day of their marriage. And divorce hurts kids for life. I'm Dr. Bill Meyer for Focus on the Family.
Dr. Meyer also points out that due to the financial strain divorce causes, kids often lose not only the parent who moves out, but they lose a lot of time with the remaining parent who now has to work longer and harder to pay the bills. For more valuable information on life's issues, relationships, and family, visit our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Focus on the Family link. Preparing for retirement takes a lot of planning, but there can be some pitfalls. Money expert Stacy Johnson shows us some retirement planning mistakes that you should avoid.
Are you confident your golden years will be golden? A survey from the Employee Benefit Research Institute reveals only 13% of Americans are very confident they'll be able to afford a comfortable retirement. You know, we're all traveling toward retirement. Some of us are closer than others, but getting there requires a plan. Something that, according to a recent survey, 40% of Americans don't even have. Failing to plan. It's not going to take you where you want to go. Mistake number 2, not getting on board soon enough. The earlier you start saving, the better your odds of success. Next, not packing a retirement plan. Use your plan at work, especially if your employer offers matching money. Another roadblock on the way to retirement is risk. Don't take any, and you may never reach your savings destination. Take too much, and you could crash your savings. Understanding investments. That's the key to bagging the right return. Another potential problem, relying on Social Security to take you there. Use the free calculator at ssa.gov to see what you can expect. If it's not going to be enough, the sooner you find out, the better. And finally, underestimating retirement cost. For example, healthcare may be much more than you expect. Bottom line, we're all on this trip together. But if you want your destination to be a pleasant one, you need to avoid retirement planning mistakes. Got a lot more information waiting for you right here at moneytalksnews.com. Just go there and do a search for retirement. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
As Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links at his website. To get there, just go to our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
This is Sports Zone.
Cardinals ace Adam Wainwright became the first National League pitcher to reach 13 wins. With the help, 3 double plays, Wainwright helped pitch the Cardinals to a 3-2 win over the San Diego Padres. Wainwright gave 2 runs with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. The Padres got the leadoff man on base 7 times, but Wainwright managed to control the game. Wainwright pitched 8 innings, and Edward Mujica finished off the 9th for his 28th save. Former Royals catcher Brian Pena drove in 2 runs and Miguel Cabrera homered to help the Detroit Tigers salvage 1 game at Kauffman Stadium as they beat the Royals 4-1 on Sunday. Cabrera leads the majors with 96 RBIs and 134 hits. His homer in the first gave Detroit a 1-0 against Royals starter James Shields. Miguel Tejeda tied in second with his 3rd home run and careered 37 of his career. The offseason is a busy time for General Manager Doug Armstrong. Decisions will have to be made to shape or reshape the roster for the upcoming season. Restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents, signings, and re-signings. There's a lot to keep track of. Visit our website, KDKZ18.com, to see a complete list of transactions so far, and that's Today in Sports.
Folks, that does it for us on 18 Eyewitness News. Thanks for joining me and Dustin. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Until then, have a blessed day and evening, everyone, and God bless.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.